Hi, I'm Maria Naggaga.
And I'm Scott Hanselman.
So we are in our 7th module, and we're going to have a look at publishing and diagnostics.
Yep,
So
let's see if we can put this thing in the cloud.
Exactly. We've built it. Let's push it up there.
Well, actually, we built a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, we built a bunch of stuff. So we built it. Let's put it up there.
Well, we could put Beyonce up there. We could put our web application up there. Why don't we just start from the scratch to talk about the life cycle?
I hope they've caught my smile when you said Beyonce. I was just like...
I'm glad, because there's so many music store demos and nerd dinner demos. You just wanted more Beyonce in Virtual Academy.
100%.
Excellent. Hopefully you'll get a deal with her and I'll get a deal with Chipotle and we'll be fine. So let's just make another app just to prove the point.
And let's do a full web application.
Yeah, we'll just do a full web application here.
No need to add the authentication.
Yeah, we'll don't do that for this. Just for this is about publishing.
Okay.
Now you notice, of course, you get this great getting started.
Yes.
And there's two things in here. We talked about getting started, but over here we've got telemetry that we'll do towards the end, and then publishing. We can go and publish this up to Azure. Let's just run it to make sure it actually works. Our app is running locally, right? So it builds, should build because it's our kind of like Hello World app.
Our very, very fancy Hello World.
Yeah. Web application 14. Pretty sophisticated. Let me actually go and probably change that to prove it.
Okay.
Web app. I'm searching for web application 14 as a string. Okay. There we go. There's our title. All right. MVA, friends.
And that should turn...
Should just work, and it should change the title. I don't know if that changed the title, actually. Good point. That's done.
No, it won't change...
It'll change the title.
At the top.
Yeah, you're right. Web application. Thank you.
Yeah, but you also have to have the nav bar.
Yeah.
MVA.
Hello, MVA, friends. There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Magical. It's clearly the next great startup.
Oh, 100%.
Snap into chat.
Huge IPO.
Excellent. All right. So now, what do we do?
So we need to publish this to Azure. So right-click publish.
Yep. We saw build. We saw pack, publish. Notice that application insights is right there. We'll talk about that in a minute. And we got some choices here.
Oh, and this is new.
Yep. We've got the Azure App Service, and then don't forget to scroll to the right.
There's even more.
Yeah, you can actually put it to a virtual machine if you prefer to have extra control and really, own your Windows machine such that you can remote into it. We'll set up IIS and publish directly to this, all from Visual Studio. It's pretty sweet. Some people also like to publish to a folder and then FTP it, to their host. But
that was actually the first way I learned how to publish a website. Yeah.
I like doing App Service because I can try it up there. I can throw it in a free website. I can try it out for a while, and then I can delete it later. So totally up to you. But we'll go and hit publish. Now here, you're going to get this new dialog.
So is that the name of the web app?
Yeah, so that's what they called it. We can call it anything as long as it's unique.
Okay.
All right. They just gave it a silly name. I want to point out you could have multiple accounts. This is my personal account right here. All right. And we're doing a web app. We could also do APIs, mobile, and function app. These are Azure things, Azure functions. We're not doing that. Let's go hello MVA friends. So I've typed hello MVA friends. Pick my trial. You've got my 3-month free trial. I've also got an MSDN that has some free time. You'll notice here it's spinning and thinking about whether that's a good name. We can pick a different, I've got different groups and stuff I could put it in.
You even have one with your own name.
Yeah, I got Hansel IoT for my IoT. I just get a bunch of stuff like that.
So in the West region? So.
Yeah, I stick in the West somewhere. And then I've got my default server farm. That's where my podcasts and stuff are in. So this is an S1, a standard one, which means I can have as many websites in my standard one as I can put in there. B is for basic, and F is for free.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So I'll just hit standard one because that's the one I have the most room on.
Okay.
Okay. But you can do kind of what you like.
Look over.
And then if I had a SQL database, I just mark it right there, and then they will either create a SQL database as well as changing my connection string to point to it.
Okay.
Yep. So let's hit create.
So instead of it being local, it would be Azure or something.
Right. So right now it's, what is it, local DB, blah, blah, blah. And then you have to think about whether you have any seed data or any initial data. So for example, with our Beyonce database, we were just using text for the genre.
Yeah.
We might change that to an enumeration. We would want to preload the database with that enumeration. So right now, that is actually using an API to call up to Azure to go and create this hello MVA friends. While that's happening, just for the purposes of illustration, I'm going to go over here, and this is my Azure Dashboard. Okay? I thought it might be interesting to go in there and see my dashboard and what it's doing. We can see the different apps that are in the dashboard.
So all those are the different apps that you currently have running?
Yeah, and
there it is.
This is an important reminder. I think people don't realize that when you have a standard, even a standard small, and I'm paying for this with my own money, I've got 21 websites running in there. You can, as much memory as you have space for, you can do that.
Oh.
Okay, yeah. A lot of people don't realize that. I've got all kinds of stuff. So look, here's Hello MVA Friends. This is one of the websites that's running in here. And there's my FTP information. We haven't had any requests yet because the site just happened. And let's go back over here. So now look at the command line. What's happening? We could do this like with a web deploy, but it's going in. There you go. See, it's compiling. It's adding the files. Yep. So my website's up. There you go. All right. So that is at hellomvafriends.azurewebsites.net. We can see that that's the one we made the change on. That's not our local host one. I'm just going to hit refresh a bunch of times to cause some requests. Click around. This is my sophisticated stress testing.
But you can actually write stress tests.
Oh,
right?
yeah, that's a great point. So I could go over here, scroll down, and I could say, performance test. Right? And we could go and make a performance test right now if we want to and talk to it. All this stuff is built in. There's a great blog post that I did, if I may sell my blog for a moment.
Yes, please.
App Service. So if you go and say Hanselman App Service Secret. Was it Secrets?
I actually do that quite a bit.
Just type Hanselman in front of your Google searches?
And then the Google's what I'm trying to search for.
Oh,
yeah.
that's so nice. Yeah, I just got a blog post about Azure App Service, Secrets and Hidden Gems. It's got information like perf testing and staging versus production versus stuff like that. It's great.
And this is new. This is new. You wrote on the 17th.
Yeah, I wrote this recently. Sorry.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, it's good. All right, so let's go back to Overview.
Okay.
Okay. Yep, there you go. So now you see that that's updated. My requests have shown up.
So these are just the number of requests that you had?
Yeah, and a couple errors when we started up.
Yeah.
And then I can go and hit Edit. And here we could turn these off if we wanted to, turn on like CPU time and see like how hard has this machine been working. It's done 6 seconds and as much as 12 seconds of CPU time, you know, in its work as it was just starting up. So that's real and that's live. Yeah.
So you've just shown some of the things that are happening in the background, like the errors that you got and the responses and kind of what's happening in your application.
And yeah, I could actually go see an activity log here and look at all the internal stuff about like what happened. You can see here, update website happened 5 minutes ago on this subscription, initiated by this person. So if you had access and I was worried that maybe you had ruined my website, theoretically.
So there's the blame game?
The blame game, exactly.
Like
so I could go in here and see a full audit log.
Of everything.
Of everything that's going on.
So would I need to add something to my application to allow me to log it like that? Or does it come pre-built when I post on Azure?
These things here are all built into Azure. This is Azure noticing those things. But to your point, what logging could we add?
Yes.
Let's do that. So let's switch back over to our application. And let me close some windows here. And let's go look at Startup, where we always seem to find ourselves. We know it's MVC. Look right here.
And then I'm seeing something over here, Logger Factory.
Right. We've got our iApplication Builder app. We've got our hosting environment. That's where we got our environment name earlier. Remember when we said production versus development? And then we've got iLogger Factory. Each of these is being passed in to configure by the host, by someone who is not us. ASP.NET made these for us. You know that nobody said new iApplication Builder or new application builder. It just magic
comes with
the system, right? So Logger Factory.
Can we hover over iLogger Factory? Can you give us a definition of what that is?
Let's do that. So this represents a type used to configure the logging system and make iLoggers. So it's a factory whose job it is to make loggers.
Okay.
All right.
So that means it makes loggers from multiple places.
Exactly. It could logger, we could like logger factory dot
Add application.
add console, add application insights, and we could even take third-party loggers if we wanted to.
Okay, and then you'd probably add them in as a dependency and it would pop up right there.
You bring them in and they would be extensions, so like add application insights is another assembly, another package that plugged in. So we could go and add an application insights logger if we wanted to. So let's do this. Let's configure application insights first.
Okay.
And then add maybe a little bit of logging. No, actually no. Let's add logging and see it at the console. Is that okay with you? Let's do that. So we'll switch back to web application. We'll be doing the little tiny web server. So this should allow us to see the DOS box. I like to call it the DOS box. And you can see, look, there's logging right there.
Yeah.
That's internal logging.
So the info.
Right. So that at the information level, we've said log, and then that's coming out to the console because we said add console right there. And it's configuring itself by looking at this configuration section. So what's configuration section? Logging. Right there.
Okay, so you can start adding things right there?
Mm-hmm.
We can call it our own things?
Yeah, we can configure our own logging there. We can put our own app settings in there. This is just where the logging includes its default stuff. And let's go and do some logging of our own, maybe just in home for simplicity's sake. We'll say home controller. And I was talking about injection, this idea that things get given to me. I don't want to make a logger. I want someone to give me a logger.
And so that's referred to as dependency injection?
Exactly. I have a dependency, and I want someone else to inject it into me. Sometimes people call it inversion of control, the idea being I could make one, or you could make one and just give it to me later, giving the control to you. So how would I start doing that? I want to get my logger from somewhere. I need to get that logger factory.
Okay, so logger.
Well, we said constructor.
Yep.
And what was it called?
So we want to add an iLogger.
Okay, so iLogger, I don't know, log. I'm not very creative. I'm not very, naming is hard, isn't it?
Okay.
So that's going to be passed in. We're adding a constructor so that it will make that iLogger, and I'll say we'll have one here called _log. We're going to basically, they're going to pass us one, and we're going to squirrel it away.
Okay.
And then we'll say, hey, this log is that log.
Okay.
Okay. And then from there, I should be able to do like log this and log that. So this, when someone makes a home controller, it's gonna get created. ASP.NET's gonna see, by virtue of the fact that I have a parameter, that's a dependency I care about. I could have a whole bunch of dependencies. I could say I this and I enter, what is it? Not IEnumerable, what was it called? I-application this or
action builder, like action results?
Application builder, right.
Okay. I
could go I-application builder, I could go I-hosting factory, I could put all that stuff there and then someone would give it to me and I could even do my own stuff. We'll do that in an advanced MVA. Okay. But I say iLogger, they see that I want one and they give it to me. Now, for the rest of the time in my controller here,
you can refer to it as _log.
Exactly. And then, dot what? Log, I don't know, log critical. We could say, oh yeah, something bad. All right, so
Zomg.
Well, yeah, it's like ONG, but it's even worse.
Zombie. It's a zombie?
Zomg. So then I could say down here, about, we'll say log dot log information. We are in about. So the logging kind of system is unified throughout ASP.NET. So then I would hope, if we did this right, we can then run it.
And you'll be
able to see it.
I saw something.
Well, this is good. So this is funny. So we failed to get our logger.
Yeah.
But in the doing of that, we got a fail.
Which is a log.
Which is from a log. So we ultimately...
A log.
We succeeded.
We're a log that created a log.
That caused an error that caused a fail. Okay, so here it says, fail, an unhandled exception while trying to get an iLogger. Okay, so they're saying, unable to resolve an iLogger. We have a...
And then it's also saying something about the home controller, if you looked at the error.
Yep, while attempting to activate home controller. So we can't make a home controller for iLogger. The mistake that I made is I wanted an iLogger of type home controller. So an iLogger that's customized for
the home controller.
So let's try that again. Ah, look, so now it works. Of course, there's our critical error. Hit about. There's info, we are about. So I'm seeing that, and it's going into the logging system.
Yes.
And it's up to us to decide to listen to it or not.
And you can see your error message right there.
Yep. There's my ZOMG. And that right now is going to the console because we said add console.
So we could technically, using that exact thing, send it somewhere else.
To a file, to your phone. We could text you every
I would prefer it if you didn't do that.
No?
Yeah.
Okay. Because on T-Mobile I got unlimited. We could do anything. But we had talked about maybe application insights.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah, let's do application insights. You plugged in a couple of sponsors, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one's going to edit those out because they're amazing. So I'm going to right-click and I'm going to say...
Okay, hold on. What, you just brought up this page.
Yeah. Sorry.
Where did that page come from?
Thanks for slowing me down.
Those are magic fingers.
Those are magic. So right-click.
Okay.
Remember, publish. Next to it is configure application insights, which is really fantastic.
Oh, okay.
We have got an all-new SDK for ASP.NET Core, and it's really cool. The SDK gets added by default, but it doesn't send anything to the cloud unless you ask for it.
Okay. So you have to give it permission.
Mm-hmm. And you not only have to give it permission, but you have to explicitly plug it into the cloud. Otherwise, everything's local. So you don't have to worry about this. Just think about this as diagnostics on steroids. What's great about it is you go and say start free. You can come here, and it's going to say register your app.
Okay.
Scroll down. Okay. See, it says getting started will do this. You don't get, this doesn't happen if you don't want it to happen. It's very important. I'm going to then throw it into my account.
So you're putting on 2 separate subscriptions?
No, well, I could. It would be weird. But right now, my web application is called Web Application 14. I have other instances of Application Insights. These are all my different websites, you see?
A lot of them.
Yep. I could make another one. So we'll just make another one here. And what's cool is that it's free. This is important. You get a gig a month, and it'll hang on to it for 3 months. And you only pay if you go over that gig. And you can still use the free if you want to.
So you could technically write some sort of script that will say, if I'm almost at a gig, take some stuff out.
Yeah, if you wanted to be tricky, you could definitely do that. There's nothing wrong with that. That's totally cool. But I just like to use the free one. But I'm going to go here and I'm going to say, hello, MVA friends, and put that, put that in. Well, I guess I'll stick with ECUS. Do I already have a resource group? Maybe I'll just use the one I had. Okay, and I'm going to say register. And this is while it's doing the infinite progress bar.
Is this what is coming with it? What is this?
Yep, this is exactly right. That's what's coming. There's going to be an application map.
Okay.
So when your app calls other resources, it could say, oh, well, here I called a database, here I called a web service. We can go and search inside of Visual Studio, which is really cool.
Okay.
And then all this logging, right, it's fun and it's easy when it's a text file on your hard drive, but when 1 million people visit your site, you need real logging and real analytics. So you can go and query all that data online, which is pretty sweet. So now you can do this. And I want to point out again, you can always turn it off. You can disable the publish stuff. You can change the pricing.
Oh, I can disable it all in Azure. I mean, in Visual Studio.
In Visual Studio. You don't have to worry about any of this stuff. So don't feel at all like Application Insights is messing with you or being anything other than
its authentic self.
It's I was going to say, it's not trying to cheat you. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Now, you right-click here, and you say Application Insights. You get this button.
Oh, yeah, that's a brand new one.
Yep, brand new. And I thought back in the day, I was like, oh, look at big advertisement. No, look, you can do all of this telemetry stuff now directly from in Visual Studio. So I haven't even gone to Azure in the portal. I can do it here.
Oh, Oh, okay. So if you select the application maps, it would show something?
Let's find out. So
But do you want to check if everything's connected in Visual?
Yeah, I should probably go and check all that stuff. Right now, it's going to try to log me in on this browser, and I probably don't want to see it. I want to see it on the other browser. Let me start by looking at it here.
Okay.
This is searching Application Insights from within Visual Studio. Now, you can also install Application Insights and put it in what's called SDK only mode.
Okay.
It sends nothing to the cloud.
Oh, and everything stays local.
And you still get to use this tool, which is sweet.
Cool.
So here, I'll go and do a search. See, it says nothing has happened because on this particular application, we didn't done anything local yet.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do some stuff.
So you're going to run the application again?
Yeah.
You're going to
just move around and just, like basically prime the pump.
be very clicky.
Very clicky, and then we'll go up and we'll do the same thing to the web. Okay. So we'll hit this one a couple of times. Yeah. Or do I have to do it online? What do we call it? Hello
Azure. Hello MVA.
Friends.
Azure websites.
Websites.net. Because there's my local one, and then there's the place that I'm sending all the data. Let's go look into the portal. So, hello, MVA.
There we go.
Friends. Here's our app service. Where's our application insights?
So if it is an application insights, if you click on that.
Can I get to it from here?
Yeah, it should be on the side. There's nothing.
Yep.
There it is.
There you go. So it looks like it's thinking. It says your app is offline.
We have an edit point.
Oh, maybe I needed to restart it. I may not have actually. Oh, did I not republish my application to Azure?
Oh, man.
Huh? See?
That's a good one.
I bet you that was it. That was me being silly. This is good, though, because you make these kind of mistakes, and you might have the same issue.
And we've just helped somebody else at home.
Yep. So let me go and republish it.
And I hadn't even thought about doing that.
Well, everything's so automatic sometimes, but also one of the things that we consistently try to point out on these MVAs is that we don't want to hide anything from you. That nothing's trying to be hidden. It should all kind of make intuitive sense. So let's go and try this again. We're doing a quick publish. I'll put that out into Azure.
So once we've added application insights to our application, we have to republish it to Azure.
Well, if we want the Azure one to start showing up into in there, the local stuff should still show up. There we go.
There we go.
So this one is so there's two things going on here. There's the stuff up in the cloud, and then there's the local stuff.
Okay.
I would guess that the local stuff just took a minute to buffer. So you can see here. Here's the time range. We'll say the last 30 minutes. There's all our stuff. So you can see hitting the page, getting all this details, right? There's the get. It's a pretty view on what we were seeing in the log, right?
Okay.
Right? But it's also telling you where the posts happen. Now, if we go like this, we can actually go and say,
oh, you can start seeing, do you notice the cities?
Oh, yeah? Is it actually show? Yeah, so there you go, country or region. I can go and filter that. I can add filters, only show me stuff from a certain location. That's where the production stuff gets really powerful, right? But if I go also...
It shows you the browser, you were in Edge.
Yep, I'm in Edge. And if you go over here then, I can say, here you go, look, city. We're filming this in Redmond.
Yeah. So
I can go and say apply filter and only show me Redmond stuff.
Okay.
All right. And there's my browser and my operating system version. What I wanted to see was some of our logs. We haven't got any logging yet.
No.
We'll talk about that in a moment. Let's go back up into the cloud and look at those, here's some of these. These are cloud-based ones, so the difference is I'm looking at data when I hit the local host versus when I hit the cloud. So here, for example, is just looking at exploring a single request to home contact. Let's say that someone said, hey Maria, home contact is slow.
Yeah.
Like everything else is fine, but for some reason it's slow. I could come in here.
And see how slow is it?
I could say filter on response time, right? Just show me the ones that have a response time of a certain thing or a certain lack of speed or whatever, and then I could send you a work item. We could actually integrate this if we wanted to with VSTS.
Okay.
I could say, I went into App Insights, I saw that the contact part of home is slow, and then I assigned that work item to Maria, and then she has to go fix that.
Okay.
Isn't that cool?
That is pretty cool.
Yeah. App Insights, the amount of data that they can collect that's around your application is pretty nuts. And if I go into the full thing,
and this is for just a website that has...
This is a nothing website. Isn't that funny? Once you have your databases and stuff configured, so here we've got all this data. There's your initial page load time was slow because it was warming up. It'll tell you about different things. You can go and configure live stream and see all that. You can see which requests took less than 250 milliseconds, which ones took a while. Our initial startup request, of course. Yeah. Then I can go to App Map, which you mentioned before.
Yeah, let's see what it looks like. Okay.
So this is super basic. It would be cooler if I added dependencies and I would have, well, the server calls a database and then calls a web service or multiple web services, and it'll tell you who spent time doing what and what you can potentially do about it.
What do you mean? Oh, like if you had a customer, how long it took them?
You could go and track an individual customer, an individual request. You could track by city, but on the server side, you could say, calls to this database are slow, calls to that web API are slow. I'm going to focus in on that.
Okay.
And then again, I could send you links and assign this to your task list.
Whoa.
If we go back over here and look at some...
Also, I noticed the Explore telemetry.
Yeah, let's look at that. See if they have enough data. We
probably have no data in there.
You know what we should do is we could go and push a bunch of data to it by using the performance testing.
Oh, okay.
Right? But here, look at this. This would fill up if I'd added a lot of stuff. And what this does is it shows you server requests over the last 30 minutes.
Okay.
And then a count of which requests.
So how many requests were made?
Yeah. So the bigger the dot, the more requests. And then when something happened and whether it caused an error. So here I could say, look, there were 6 requests here. I can double click on those, and now it's going to show me
what
those requests and why they were a problem.
Okay.
Again, all of this can be built in and free, and then you just pay for the storage if you want to use tons. Now, back to the point at hand.
Yeah.
Where's our logs? I got no logging here.
Don't see it.
So hook my logging up, please, to Application Insights for me.
So when going to start up, let's go to Log Factory, because that was the thing where we could add other logs to it.
Yep.
So App Insights, Log Factory.
Logger Factory dot
add
Application Insights. All right, and it wants
something in there.
I want an iService provider. It wants to know about my application services, right?
Exactly.
The providers for my services. So pass that in. And then the minimum level, do we only want warnings?
Yeah, let's look at debug.
Okay, we're going to do everything. We'll be crazy. We'll send all debug information up there because we have a bunch of comments and stuff where we've logged some things. Okay. So we said Logger Factory add Application Insights.
So technically, we should run the application now, and we should see some sort of logs.
Well, let's see. This one hasn't been published, so I would assume
yeah.
Well, it depends, right? This should show us local stuff. So let's do
Exactly.
local first, and then we'll publish it and see if it shows up in Azure as well. All right. So we know we've got our Zomajij. Yeah. So I'm going to go like this.
Okay.
Make some data. Pretty sophisticated. I know we should come up with a better way to make more data. And let's go and take a look at our local telemetry.
So we didn't, when you pulled up the command line, we didn't see anything that was application insights.
Right, because application insights is a log sync. It's a place that the logging goes, but application insights isn't going to be sending anything out to the logging. It's going to capture or catch our logging. Let's go and grab something over the last 30 minutes. Here our home page.
You should say Zoom.
It is, what time is it? Let's go and try to see. We can go here and
That's
turn these things off. I want to see trace.
okay.
So there's page views. Right, there's a page view. I want to see my tracing data show up. Let's try running it under debug
Okay.
and see if that,
That triggers something?
well, I want to see, there's two options here. There's the seeing it in the log after the fact, but Application Insights also puts itself over here. See the new diagnostic tools right
Yeah.
there? I can zoom in there and say show events. So you see all the code compilation,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. Oh,
There it is.
So there's one of our traces, right? So this is an App Insights trace that was generated because we logged.
Yeah.
Then I can go look, I can say view details, see all the internals of that,
We even have
that
stuff about
thing. And look, we were in development mode
Okay.
or whatever, right? You can even go and monitor these applications when they're live if you like.
They also show that it's coming from the home controller.
Yeah. So let's go and publish this
Okay.
and try to do the same thing in the cloud. So this take just a moment, do a quick build, and it should just do a diff.
And then you should be able to,
Be able to hit this in the cloud and see some more real data.
so would you be able to just go back to,
First I'm going to hit the site,
okay, do some,
and I can't see the output, right?
yeah,
So let's go back over here while the site's still running
and see,
and look at it.
okay.
All right. And I should be able to say view more. All right, let's look at one of our explorers.
So you touch the metric, right?
Yeah, I've got metrics explorers. I can go in there and pick on what events matter to me, what traces matter. See, and I can build these charts however I want and then dig into them. Each one of these can be individually set up. So whatever metrics matter to you, you
Yeah.
can literally build your own charts. And then you can go into the Application Insights SDK and add your own events, your own kinds of events, even manage JavaScript
Yeah.
events as well. What I want to see is I want to see that logging information show up on the cloud. So here I'm going to jump over to the larger Application Insights dashboard.
Oh, I've never seen this one before.
Yeah. So here, if you have a lot of data, you can go and open this tab up and you can start writing queries. You can say like, show me all the traces. It's basically like SQL across terabytes and terabytes of data.
Okay.
So I could say like, show me all of the, select star from whatever. Let me see if I can show you some, there you go. So, top countries by traffic in the last 24 hours. It's kind of like SQL, but then you can add render pie chart or whatever
Okay.
and
So like
see
the
where your
top
traffic comes from.
countries, 11% just in the past 30 minutes.
Well, probably I'm returning nothing, but you get the idea, right?
Yeah. That is incredibly insightful.
It is
if you have an
useful.
active, yeah.
Now what I want to dig into was, I think it was index. There's my different indexes. Here's an individual item. There we go. So look at this. I can come in and say, show me just index, or we saw before with just contacts. Say, give me all telemetry for this session, or, this is really great, everything 5 minutes before and after this event. So like something happens.
Oh, so you want to know what, all the things that happened.
Right,
Okay.
give me the bracket around that. But let's go and say everything for this user. And this user, of course, would be me.
Yeah.
All right, now we're talking.
Okay, so if you had an application where you had authentication, you'd be able to see user X.
If I tracked it, if I track that user, I can give that user a correlation ID and track that user as it moves through my system.
Yes.
I could say, show me everything for Maria, anonymous Maria,
Okay.
as she moves through this thing. So here, This is everything that happened between this time period. We can see calls out to dependencies. In this case, it was calling something with Ajax. Here's our home page.
Yep.
We can see our code generated. Again, you said debug, right? So
Yeah.
we're sending more.
More than we can.
They call it debug spew. We're sending more debug than is necessary because we're set to verbose. But we wanted to.
Oh, look, there it is.
Where is it?
Zoom.
Yep, look
There
at that.
it is.
So there's our trace. I can click on that, and there it is. So there's a critical,
Yeah.
which I can then go and filter on, right? So
yeah.
I could say now,
What's happening in
just
there?
filter the criticals, and look, looks like something bad is happening on our application. So you've got modular logging in ASP.NET Core, multiple levels. You can plug it into a text file if
Yeah.
you want, or plug it into the cloud and do some real damage.
Yeah, and then you can send people text messages on Twilio.
Yeah, we should actually set that up. We're just going to send ZOMG something bad every single time someone hits hello MVC friend to your phone. So enjoy that.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah. So that was a pretty good day. I felt
Yes, it
pretty good
was.
about that. Azo, you feel it's a good
I
101?
think it's a really good 101. Like, we got introduced to .NET Core. We learned a bit of C#. We looked at ASP.NET Core. We looked at MVC, routing. We went on to publishing, and then looking at how we can log and measure telemetry. So
we
basically,
made forms. We did model binding.
oh yeah, I forgot about forms. We looked at post, redirect, and get.
Right. We did validation.
Yes, we did.
We did scaffolding a number of ways, and we also learned how to do some basic database migrations and updating those databases.
Yes, we did. Oh, we also looked at web APIs.
We surely did, and
Yeah.
we learned Postman.
Oh, yes.
Not bad for a day's work. I
Yeah.
hope that you all feel that you got your money's worth, given that this was completely free, and I was paid in tacos.
I wasn't paid yet.
You were not paid at all.
Pens. I got free pens.
Free
And,
pens,
yeah.
yes, and we'll be stealing the soda. We really appreciate you watching our show, and we would encourage you to rate these shows. And honestly, the best compliment that you could give us is to share these with your friends and your
Yes.
coworkers. I also want to remind you that we're going to put this up on GitHub. Right now, this is on your GitHub,
Yeah.
github.com/Lady Naggaga,
Yep.
Naggaga.
Yeah.
And give this session to your friends, to your coworkers, to
Yeah.
your user group. All right. Thanks again, and we will see you on future MVAs as we dig even deeper into .NET, .NET Core, ASP.NET, .NET Standard, Xamarin, and so much more. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.